All right, boils and ghouls, let's talk slasher films. It is Slasher September as of last night. Well, yesterday, but we kicked it off with Sleepaway Camp. Again, a big pleasure having you, Dan, on. If you see this, always love having you on. Great guy, great channel. If you're not subscribed to Mr. Dan and what is it, Mr. Dan and Horror? I always forget people with long names. That's what it is, Mr. Dan and Horror, because the Hot Wheels is on Instagram. Follow him, subscribe. Great, great guy, and just great content. So I didn't know which slasher. I put a list on the community tab earlier today that I was putting together. So we're like up to like 30 slashers for the month, which means I'll have to knock out one or two a night, which I've done many, many times. I mean, we're past 920 videos, guys. We're going to hit 1,000 like probably by the end of October. But I didn't know which one to start with because I don't like doing too many movie reviews in a row and discussions like this that I adore. Because after a while, I feel like saying, like, this is amazing, this is fantastic, it's a masterpiece and stuff. It's too much in a row, so I have to separate it with just average films, if that makes any type of sense. So I was thinking which slasher on that list to start with. And Madman from 1981 is a slasher that never really worked for me at all. I've seen it a few times, I've given it chances. Doesn't do it for me. So this is going to be an interesting watch because for some reason I feel like it might go up. For some reason, I don't know, I have that gut instinct. But I remember the kills aren't that great, is what I recall. And probably one of the biggest problems with me. I mean, this is a slasher film. All slasher films that I love, they don't have fucking shit gore or no kills or off screen and stuff. Like, those don't make my top slashers. The kills are the most important thing in a slasher film, in my opinion. Like, I know there's a lot of you that agree, but different for everybody. So let's talk Madman Marz. I mean, the atmosphere I remember is pretty good in this. Like, and it's filmed pretty decently for like mostly a nighttime movie. Like, it takes place mostly all at night. So they do a good job with the lighting and stuff, if I remember correctly. So let's talk Madman, 1981. All right off the bat, I'm really digging the score. The score here is fantastic. Not fantastic, maybe. It's good though. Like, I like the sound of it here. I don't know if it's like the rest of the score is like this, but I love the intro credits here. All right, so now we can add another film to the list that I never think about this movie, so I don't remember. But I do remember when I think about it. The campfire scene that opens up with the old guy telling the legend of Madman Marz and stuff. Just another campfire story scene, just like The Burning had the exact same one as Friday Part 2. This came a year earlier, though, right? No, it came, yeah, the same year. That's fucking weird, man. There's 3 slasher films that all have almost an identical scene. And then this one doesn't have like some stupid asshole with a mask pop up. But it is creepy. You know, it's good atmosphere. But I think another thing I never liked about this movie is the characters. Like, they don't really do anything for me at all. And then the kills just aren't good. But we'll see. You know, I really think this might go up a bit. Because so far, so good. The whole campfire scene, like I said, is good. The whole story and background for Madman Marz here, who used to be a farmer, and he ends up going crazy one night, which happens to be the exact night that they're there in the woods, and tells this story that he went mad and ended up killing his wife with an axe and his 2 small children. And there is some decent effects, like it's quick, but you see the axe go into like a head and some blood and stuff, so it's decent. And they even do that same shot for the daughter. So a kid gets killed in this, which is, you don't see that too often. I was just talking about this on Sleepaway Camp. So then it doesn't take long, like he says, for them to figure out, like the town, what Marz did to his family. So they end up hanging him from a tree, and one guy smacks him in the face with an axe, so he's got a big ass gash, and they left him hanging there to die. And when they came back the next morning, his body was gone. Then the bodies of his family disappeared and were never found to this day. Like, it's a good legend. It's not bad at all. And then this stupid fucker interrupts the story and says, how could their bodies never have been found? Where could they be? What a stupid fucking line. Are you serious? How could their bodies never been found? Bodies go missing all the time and are never found. Like, millions probably. Like, what is that line? That is a stupid line, man. Like, what type of point is he trying to make? Because he's wrong in every way. So he tells more the rest of this legend that you don't speak his name in the woods, because he'll hear you and he'll come and chop your head off with an axe. Now, he says this twice. If I can remember correctly, I don't even think there's a decapitation scene in here. If there is, maybe one, but he's not chopping everyone's head off with axe. Not happening. An axe. Whatever. It doesn't happen here. So that part of the legend doesn't make any sense. He uses whatever. As if I recall, like, I know there's no every kill's a decapitation. I know that for a fact. They're not that good in this movie. But you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Hatchet. Of course, this came much, much earlier, but I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Green was inspired a little bit by this movie. Hatchet is just leagues and leagues better than this. Like, so good. Just for the kills and practical effects. But this feels like an early draft of a Hatchet movie. Especially he uses an axe. It's like a hatchet. Like, all of that. And they're in the woods. It's in the swamp with the Hatchet movies. Very similar. And even Madman Marz, like, he doesn't look just like Victor Crowley or anything, but big deformed dude. Like, a lot of it is Hatchet, man. Like, I would not be surprised if Adam Green took something from this. Absolutely. What a dick this old guy is, man. He tells his whole story, and then they're all on the campfire listening. There's children there listening and everything. And then he just says, well, have a great night, everybody. Like, it was great, having your company. And he just gets up and they leave. Like, this guy scared the shit out of these people. Alright, so this isn't really new, but Max is the name of the old dude. I'm not going to be remembering names all over the place this month with these slasher movies. I already blank on names all the time. But slasher films, especially ones I don't know very, very well, like that I've just seen and who remembers these characters' names, they are being described as usual, just body type, hair color, skin color, all the things you shouldn't judge somebody by or like remember them for. But that's how we're going with this. Unless they blatantly say their name like they just did with Max. I remember now. That's another thing. I don't care for the lead chick here. The blonde. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. The acting's not great at all from anybody in this movie, really. Except for maybe Max. Like, he overacts a bit, but the whole story that he tells is pretty good performance from him. Everybody else is just your usual run-of-the-mill slasher acting, basically. So, Betsy, the blonde one, I don't care for her much. I mean, she's not terrible or anything, but it just doesn't do it for me as a character or an actress or anything like that. She's having some type of relationship with... Did they say his name was Tippy? I'm calling him the Italian-looking dude with the big nose. Him, with the dark hair. They're having some type of relationship, and she doesn't want it to end, and she's insecure and stuff, so she doesn't want to say goodbye. It's all of this doesn't... I hate this. I don't care for any of this plot arc here. The relationship between the two of them is not interesting to me in the slightest. So then we see our first shot of supposedly Madman Marz. We just see a silhouette that he has a real red nose, black hair, so Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. He sees what he's like questioning what he's seeing, but he's looking up and he sees the silhouette of some big ass guy with long hair, and I think he has gray hair, right? Madman Marz? I haven't seen this movie in like a decade. Oh, and I forgot to mention Marz, when he was a farmer before he was hung and all that shit, and now he's back, he used to live in the house that's conveniently like right near where they're camping or where they're hanging out here. This is like a place for gifted children, right? It's like a retreat or something. That's what it seems like. Man, Rudolph better DW-40 the shit out of that door, because the way that the noise it makes when it creaks, it could wake the dead. Or even Madman Marz. The pacing is not good here. That's another thing I remember. The pacing really takes this down for me. And the acting, like I said, it's fine. It's not that great at all from most of them. But just the dialogue between, like when we have Betsy and the lion. Woman with the big red hair, it looks like. Whatever. She looks like a lion to me. Lion is talking to Betsy, and none of the dialogue's interesting. It's just, I'm just like, get to a kill already. Like, the pacing just really suffers. Like, the movie suffers a lot because of just nothing happening for a long stretch. It's just like The Prowler for me. Except I like, not adore, I like The Prowler a lot more than this movie. Even with all the pacing issues in that film for me. Just the kills by Savini alone make it leagues better than this. But I don't think this is going up, guys. Okay, decent first real kill here, not counting the flashback that we see him kill his kids and his wife. But he, bushy-haired, brown-haired, white dude ends up going out and investigating something, and now we actually see Madman Marz, and yeah, he's got long gray hair, big dude. It looks like Victor Crowley. Like, the more I'm watching this, the more it really is making me wish I was watching Hatchet. Like, again, even though we just did, like, those movies, like, a month ago. Doesn't matter. It's making me really want to watch that, because it's a better movie. But the kill here isn't bad. Like, maybe the gore is better than I remember. Because, like I said, this is like a rewatch. Like, not even a rewatch, like a blind watch. Because I don't remember much. I just remember being in the woods and not liking the kills. But this first one, when he opens the door and he gets the axe right against his throat, it's a good throat cut. I mean, it's just a throat cut, but it's decent. There's gore at least. It's not cut. I don't know what it is with Betsy, the main chick, but like also, she's got really bugged out eyes. Bug, that's her name now. Well, Bug. This is another thing. This is like 10 minutes or more that they're spending on Bug being all pissed off at Italian dude Big Nose Mario. Bug is pissed off at Mario for creeping out the kids at the campfire for his story. Then she goes off and she's talking to Max, the old dude who told the Madman Marz story, and it goes on and on. It's really boring. Like, the pacing's terrible in this movie. I remember this shit too. That we get like this cheesy 80s music in a scene with Betsy in the jacuzzi, in the hot tub. It goes on for way too long. Like, this movie's not great, guys. When I say cheesy 80s song, I mean bad, man. Like, this song is terrible. And Mario and Bug are fucking around in the jacuzzi. None of this is good at all. Like, none of it. And you better damn be sure that the next one, second feature, for the double feature tonight, is going to be a slasher I fucking like. Just how he makes it happen. Find yourself just laughing. And that goes on for quite some time. Like, way too much time. Oh, fuck, we're only a half hour into this movie, man. We got an hour left. Oh, remember when I said the thing about the legend that makes no sense? That he supposedly cuts everyone's head off with the axe? Told you, because that first kill with the throat cut, he wasn't decapitated. Well, he's got his head still there, his throat's fucked up, but, I mean, he's dead anyways. So Mario goes out looking for Rudolph and Lion, because the girl with the head. The head, yeah, with the hair, the big poofy hair. They're all missing because one's dead and the other one's just hiking in the woods at night for some reason. And then with her lover, I don't know. I will say though, the cinematography, like I remembered for the nighttime shots, like this is all nighttime. It's very good. Like, it's very nice to look at. It's very still. The same thing that I always say about Hatchet. The way that Adam Green filmed the first Hatchet film. That the swamp just seems so still. And there's not a breeze or anything. And it feels very surreal. Like, it adds a little bit of surrealism to it. And same thing here. So, I mean, that's a positive. Like, a big positive for this. It has a good atmosphere. The rest of the score, like, so far, it's pretty good, too. Like, when Mario's out in the woods and he's about to get killed by Madman Marz. Like, good sound effects. Good. I like it. The score is not bad in this at all. Alright. I gotta give it another positive here. we have Mario and Madman Marz. He killed Mario. And it's a hanging death, which I've mentioned one or two times. Like, unless it's Suspiria, The Omen, Mario Bava's Twitch of the Death Nerve, that I don't care for hangings. Like, they just don't usually do anything for me. This is a good one. It really is. And I like the fact that, like, I like the fact, first of all, that he uses the rope that calls back to the legend, because he was hung from the tree, and the whole way he hangs him here seems like just the way he was supposedly killed. And I don't know if they explain how he comes back as a ghost. I have no idea. But I like the fact that this guy is smart. He's not just hanging there. He starts pulling the rope, Madman, and he's lifting Mario into the air. And he's trying. He's holding the top of the rope. He's pulling himself up. Then there's a branch. It's looped around. And he's grabbing the tree branch and he's holding himself up. You don't see that a lot in hangings. Like someone trying to get out of it. And then he just comes, he pulls the rope down. And he falls down, breaks his neck, and his eyes look great. Like white eyes. Good hanging kill. I also really like how earlier in the movie, at like 15-minute mark or so, Mario is trying to pull that axe out of the tree stump, and he can't. He's trying as hard as he could. It's in there. Then we get a shot here of Madman Marz going, and the sound design's pretty good here. He's lifting up on the axe and stuff until it just comes out. So I guess only he can wield this axe. Like, this is his axe, so only he can take it out, kind of like the Excalibur sword. Like, that's what I'm taking from it. Also, second killing with the hanging, no decapitation. Doesn't follow. But the third one here, Blondie, or now I should say the man formerly known as Blondie, is the only blonde one out of all the men. He comes upon Mario's body hanging from the tree, then Madman stalking him, and it goes on for too long. Like, everything is too long in this movie. Like, this movie could have had 20 minutes cut out of it. I think it's an hour and 40 minutes, so it's 10 minutes over your 90-minute usual for a slasher. They could have cut out 20 minutes, made this an hour and 20 minutes. Like, absolutely. Like, there's some good stuff here. It's just everything between the kills, and then artist formerly known as Blondie. It looks like now we finally get a decapitation. I wish I could tell you and confirm it, because it's a complete cutaway kill. Like, you just see Madman, he's on the ground, Blondie, and Madman has the axe and he jumps at him and just goes like this, and it cuts to Lion. So, I'm guessing decapitation. When you get the POV shots from the perspective of Madman, I really like his grunts. Like, or his breath, like he's like, like, it's a big ass dude. So I mean, like, it kind of makes sense. It adds a little bit of realism here. Big ass guy running around the woods, killing people and shit. He's out of breath. Like, he's really struggling to breathe. But I like it. It adds a little bit of I don't know, some eeriness to it. All right, so the aftermath. So Lion goes out with mustache. That's a new one. Guess he got a mustache. So that's his discerning characteristic. The two of them go out looking for the missing people, just like Mario went out looking for the first missing people. And Lion comes upon Blondie's headless corpse. So we finally, yes, it's a decapitation, but it's off screen. It sucks. The gore, though, it looks pretty good. Like, you see the head on the ground with the torso and stuff, the severed neck. It's not bad. It's not great or anything like that. And then she has a decent chase sequence, and she's getting chased through the woods, and then she gets to her car. Alright, best kill of the movie here. I totally forgot about this. So Lion is trying to fix her car, and she lifts the hood up, and she's like leaning down there trying to figure out what's going on. And Madman steps onto the car. I don't know how she doesn't hear any of this. He's making a lot of noise, but she's under the hood. And then he proceeds to just jump on the hood of the car, and her head gets smashed and decapitated. Then, like, the bloody stump is squirting blood out. Best kill in the movie. I mean, I don't remember the gore being this good. Like, it's pretty good in this movie. I don't know. No complaints. All right, so Mustache Mo and Curly. Two guys, Mustache Mo now, and curly-haired girl. They're a couple or something. They end up going looking for everybody else. Everyone's missing. They find the car, and then it's not working. So then they go and they open the trunk. I keep saying trunk, the hood. And they open the hood of the car, and they see her head in there. I swear to you, I would watch this movie again if he did the exact same thing. Madman Marz there when when I can't fucking talk when what the hell's his nickname now, Mustache, when he's looking under the hood. If Madman Marz would have jumped on the hood and did the exact same kill, I would have died laughing, and this movie would go way up just for that scene. Like having two exact kills, that would have been hilarious. All right, so then Mustache Mo, I don't even know what Madman does to him here. He lifts him up, he has him lifted up over his head, and then you hear cracking, so I guess he's like breaking his back or some shit, but it cuts away. And then you just see his body being dragged by Madman. Not good at all. Also, I'm glad that Madman respects my 2 to 3 candle max limit in a fucking movie, unless it's a satanic ritual going on. You know, you see it a few times, but he's got like 2 candles going. That's fine with me. Then, whoever the fuck this guy is, I've never seen him before, besides the campfire. The younger guy. He goes, and then he's wandering around. Good score again. Like, a lot of the chase sequences are right before kills. The scores that's fine. It's really good. But he just stares, and he goes for literally like 10, 12 seconds. Then it hit an ad on Tubi here, so that it felt much, much longer. I can't tell you what happened to him, because he just, unless he, Madman shoved his dick in his mouth. I don't know. I have no idea what happened there. So Curly ends up getting axed into the chest, and then he rips it out. That looks good too. Like, the gore is pretty good in this. And some of the kills. This is a very, very, very mixed movie for me. Then Bug ends up going with a shotgun, and then she runs into Marz, and he smashes her head against a piano. Like, she should have been out right there. And then, like, I guess he has a cool design. He has claws and stuff, kind of. I don't know how that makes sense. He was a farmer. He's not a monster. I don't know. And he's all deformed. I like the whole look of him. Again, it's very Victor Crowley, and I wish I was watching one of those movies, but it's cool for what it is. So Bug ends up killing Madman Marz. Supposedly, we never got a sequel. Thank God. And we have the same score for the end credits as the opening credits. It's kind of cool how they show before the credits roll. They show the kid with the stupid blowjob ready face. And he ends up, they pan across and show the bodies of everyone, like how they got killed. You see Mario hanging, you see the person decapitated. That's pretty cool. But I don't know, guys. Like, this is not great for me at all. Like, this is just a very, very average slasher at best. The kills, some of them are good. The one with the hood of the car is fucking hysterical. Like, but everything else is just not good. It just doesn't work for me at all. None of the dialogue, like, it's basically just waiting for the kill scenes. But everything in this movie goes on for way too long. Like, way too long. Like I said, they could have cut out a good 20 minutes, and it is only 90 minutes. Just cut it out. Like, cut out these long, drawn-out, like, chase scenes and stalk scenes. I don't know. If I don't see this movie ever again, I will never miss it. But it's got positives, just like most movies. So that's this one. That's Madman from 81. Sorry if you're a Madman fan, but that shit rhymed. I'm not at all. So double feature. I will get to that and probably have it out a little later tonight. So wherever you're from, hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, or night, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, guys.